welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. Today is Wednesday, January 15th, and we're going to be talking about my Poshmark routine. I keep getting a lot of requests from folks asking for me to share with you guys my actual daily Poshmark routine. Here's the thing. There's the Poshmark routine y'all should actually be doing every day, and then there's what I do. And it falls along the lines, I say this to you guys all the time, sometimes it's do as I say and not as I do. I don't always follow best practices. I don't always do things the way I should do just because of time limitations and all of the things that I have to do on a daily basis. I have a lot on my plate. So sometimes I do what I can to the best of my ability, and that has to be good enough. I know I should be doing more on Poshmark every day, but if I can't do all of the things that I should be doing and I can do the best that I can do, that has to be good enough. And I want you guys to keep that in mind, because I'm going to share with you what you should be doing on Poshmark every day and then tell you what I actually do. And hopefully, if you guys don't have time to spend on Poshmark to do all the things you should be doing, you can find somewhere in between that and what I do. Or if you are very, very, very limited on time, you can do what I do, because I take the most important chunk out and make sure that that gets done every single day. The most important parts of the routine, I make sure they're done every day, and I kind of skip over the ones that I feel won't hurt me as much if I don't do them. And there's days where I can do all of it. I just have to do what I can every day. So I'm going to actually share the screen with you in a minute and show you some little graphics I made that you guys can screenshot and keep for yourselves if you want a photographic reminder of the routines. But basically, and I've been saying this forever, you guys should be sharing your closet 3 times a day. You should be listing new items every single day. You should be doing offers to likers. You should be sharing other people. And if you have time for it, you should be in a share group. And you should be following people who follow you. That's not so important. Followers will come once you reach ambassador status. But it is nice to follow people back who follow you. If you could just grab 5 or 10 a day, that's great. And the most important part, I think, is to pay attention to when you're doing what you're doing. So you can space out your 3 shares a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. But as far as when you're listing new items and when you're sharing other people and when you're being the most active, you should absolutely be doing this during the last party of the day. The last party of the day is when the most people are online on Poshmark being active, sellers and buyers alike. It's 7 o'clock on the West Coast and 10 o'clock on the East Coast, so it is kind of late for those of us that live on the East Coast. But we're entrepreneurs. We work for ourselves. We make our own schedules. So if you have to stay up later and sacrifice for your business, then you have to stay up later and sacrifice for your business. And that's just the bottom line. I'm here to tell you that the most important thing you need to be doing every single day on Poshmark, without fail, the one thing you should never be skipping, is that last party of the day. You should be doing all of your new listings during that time, because the most people are active and online. If you're putting your new items on in the morning, not as many people are going to see them as if you're listing at that last party. When you list new items on Poshmark, it will share them to your followers, which pushes them up in the search algorithm, and it will also share to the party if applicable. That last party of the day is the only party of the day where you can share your entire closet, all brands, all items, all categories to the party. So anything that you list, any new listings you make during the last party, automatically get shared to your followers and to the party and get that boost. And it's getting in front of the most eyes and the most people. Versus if you're listing in the morning or the afternoon when not so many people are on. That last party of the day is absolutely when the most people are on. This is the most important time for you to be putting new items in your store, to be sharing your closet, not your store, putting new items in and sharing. This is the most important time because this is the most active time. So let me share my screen with you and show you guys these little graphics I made. So what you're looking at is the daily tasks that you should be doing every day on Poshmark. This is the ideal Poshmark routine. These are all the things you should be doing every day to keep your Poshmark business active and be selling as many items as you can. You should be sharing your closet 3 times a day. I say that to you guys a lot. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening during the final party. You should be doing offers to likers. I put evening on this graphic because in the evening is when the most people are on Poshmark browsing on their phones. They're home from work, they're on the couch watching TV, and they're on their apps. So the most active time of the day is the evening, you know, after folks are home from work. And then you want to be following folks back and sharing other people and being in share groups. If you cannot do all of these things in one day, that's fine. Just do what you can, and just remember that this last thing on the list here, the final party routine, which we're going to go over in just a minute, is the absolute most important, I feel. When I let some of these other things go, I definitely see a difference and I see less sales. But as long as I keep up that final party routine every day, I still see activity and really good sales throughout the week. And you have to do offers to likers. So if everything else you don't have time for, the 2 things I think you have to do is the final party routine and the offers to likers. As long as I keep doing those, we see sales and we're okay. I can let some of the other stuff go and still be okay, but when I let offers to likers go or the final party routine, we really see a drastic difference and not sales at all. So make sure you're doing at least those 2. I try to do as much of this, what you're looking at right now, every single day, but there are days where I can't get to all of it. If I have a day where I have a lot of store reviews that I have to do, I don't have time to share Posh as much because I have to do those store reviews. If I have a day where I'm doing a more extensive video for YouTube, like today, for instance, where I'm making these graphics and stuff, I don't have time to share it all 3 times. But I do as much as I can every single day. I have these tasks in my bullet journal and my to-do list. You guys should have them too. And feel free to copy this graphic. You can screenshot it and keep it for yourself. But these are the daily Posh tasks that you should be doing every day for your ideal Poshmark routine. The final party routine that you should always do, no matter what, it should never be skimped, is what you're looking at now. Now, you're not going to always get through all of this either. So I've ordered this in the order of importance. So when you sit down at 10 p.m. Eastern, or if you're on the West Coast and you're sitting down at 7, if you work your way down this list from top to bottom in order of importance, you'll find that some nights you get all the way through the whole list and some nights you don't. So don't feel overwhelmed when you look at this. It's going to depend on what items you're listing. It's going to depend on how tired you are, your mood, and all of that. I notice that there's a lot of nights where I can get through this whole list, and then there's nights where I don't get through the whole list, and that's okay. I think that sometimes when we're tired, we don't share as quickly, we don't move as fast, our brain isn't functioning as well. But as long as you get as most of this done as you can every single night, you'll be fine and you'll see activity on Poshmark. I do take one night off from this, and that is Fridays. Friday nights I do take off and I don't work. So I don't do this on Fridays, but I do it Saturday through Thursday without fail. And I do as much as I can. Like I said, I don't always get through the whole list. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. And you have to be easy on yourself. The nights you get through the whole thing, congratulate yourself. The nights you don't beat yourself up over it. The most important thing you want to do is list 5 items right away. Immediately when the party starts, you want to list 5 new items to your closet. These are your daily listings that keep your Posh Closet active. You want to be listing them during the party. Then you want to share your entire closet to the party. Then you want to go into the party and share 50 listings from each tab. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in just a second. Then if you have 5 more items that you can list or cross post, you can do those at this point. I cross post all of our stuff from eBay. I use List perfectly. It takes just a mere few seconds to do it. So I usually do 10. So after you cross post or list the next set of 5 items, you want to share your entire closet to your followers. And then if you have time, go back into the tabs in the party and share 100 more listings. Or if you're in a share group, go ahead and start sharing people from your share group at this point. But you want to make sure that you're sharing your closet once to the party, because other sellers are in that party sharing from the party, from those tabs like I'm going to show you, and your items are going to get in front of tons of new people. And also when you go in there and you share from their listings from the tabs, those people are going to follow you. They're going to share your items back, and this is going to get you a lot of really good activity during the busiest time of the day on Poshmark. And of course, like I said at the beginning, when you're listing during the party, you're getting maximum eyeballs, maximum people looking at your stuff and getting it shared. And sharing to the party is super duper important because of the activity that's going to happen there with other sellers. But sharing your closet to your followers is also super duper important because that's what pushes your items up in the search algorithm, and this is when people are shopping. Try to space this out for the whole 2 hours. If you only work 2 hours a day on Poshmark, try to space this out the whole 2 hours. Don't try to cram this whole list in the first hour of the party. The reason I say that is because people are active for the whole 2 hours. The whole 2 hours is super busy, and you want to be super busy and getting your listings in front of eyeballs and sharing and being active during the whole time the party's happening, just like everyone else is. But let's say you live on you live on the East Coast and it's midnight when you're done. It is still only 9 o'clock in California. People are still shopping on the West Coast and then, across the nation. And there's still some night owls over here on the East Coast too that might still be shopping. So when the party's over, the action isn't over. So the reason you want to spread this list out and make this last the whole 2 hours is because even after the party ends, people go into those tabs and they look at the stuff that was shared to the party. People are still online searching items and shopping. So the more active you are towards the end of the party, the better off you're going to be, because folks are still active after the party is over with. People are still shopping. So if you shared your closet, at 11, let's say 11:30 Eastern time, and people are still shopping around midnight 30 Eastern time, your stuff is still high up in the searches. So it's super, super important to have a really good routine at the end of the party, at the end of the day, at the last party of the day is what I meant to say. It's super good, super important to have a really good routine during this last party, to do as much of this list as you can and to make it last. If you're someone that's really fast at all of this and you're finding that you're done in an hour, take a break in between. Like do the all the way through sharing 50 listings from each tab, maybe take a break and come back and do the rest. If you're really slow and you don't ever get through the whole list, but you're active for the whole 2 hours, you're doing fine. Don't beat yourself up. Just make sure that for the whole 2 hours, you're actively participating in listing, sharing, and the whole 2 hours. So when I say the tabs at the top, if you're new to Poshmark and you don't quite know what I mean, when you go into Poshmark and you join a party, and these tabs will show up on your phone as well, but I'm going to show you on the computer. The end party of the day, right up here where I'm showing you with the mouse, it's going to have tabs that say new tags, host picks. There's like 5 tabs. You just go in through each tab and then go down and share like 50 items. They will show up at the last party of the day. Most of you are familiar with that, but just look up here at the top. You'll see things separated. Host picks, new tags, designer. I can't remember all of them, but there's like 5 tabs, and you just click through them and share from them. So that's the ideal routine that you should be aiming for every day or striving for, to do just as much of it as you can. Don't beat yourself up if you don't have time for all of it. Most of my viewers, most of you guys are eBay sellers first and foremost, and focus on that, and that's okay. If you're diversifying and starting to get into Poshmark, just do what you can. Don't beat yourself up. So do what you can from that ideal list, and then just make sure that you're at the last party of the day every night, working your way through that list. And in the beginning, if all you do is get through like the first 2 things, that's okay too. Just do what you can. Do as much of it as you can in the order that I have it, because it's ordered from most important to least important, in my opinion, and this is what we have seen success with. Right now, Poshmark's a little bit slow. They are doing some changes on the app, and sometimes that can cause slower sales or glitches in the algorithm. When Poshmark updates their app, their system, they don't take the whole thing down or anything. They just kind of work in the back end. And sometimes that can cause the algorithm to go a little bit wonky, and we'll see slower sales for a couple of days. But it will work itself out once they've updated the app and they've got everything in place. It's not like eBay's Glitchapalooza that happened in October, and most of us feel like we're still seeing ramifications from that. It's not like that at all. It's just while they're doing the updates, the algorithm gets a little wonky, and we'll notice our sales get a little slower. But that should be over with soon. Poshmark's really good about updating their app and getting rid of glitches and making things work really well in a very nice, in a very quick manner, I should say. And then also remember, I said this in a couple of videos already this week, but we're in that time period between when folks were spending their money like mad for Christmas and when people get their tax returns back. This is a little bit of a lull. It's just a slow time of year. It's normal. It's normal for people to not really be spending as much money right now. We'll start to see it pick up as people get their tax returns, and Poshmark's app should be all done and updated by next week. So don't think it's just you if you're slow right now, and if you're new to the platform and you haven't really been making a lot of sales. That's 2 of the biggest reasons why right now, and probably because you're new and you don't have a lot of listings yet. That's normal with any platform. When Keith and I first started on eBay, we were lucky if we went to the post office with 1 package every 2 days. And now we do 6 to 10 packages a day. So just keep that in mind. Just keep working towards building up the amount of listings you have, following these 2 routines I've showed you today. And don't beat yourself up if you can't get through them. You're fine. This is a time of year when it's slow also. So it's a good time of year to be doing your routines. It's a good time of year to get yourself into these really good routines and get yourself set so that when things start to pick up a little bit and we all start selling more on all of the platforms, you'll have your routines in place and be able to stick to them a little bit better. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you guys have any more questions concerning the Poshmark routines I've showed you today, feel free to leave comments down below and ask me. You can tag me in our Facebook group if you're not a member. The link is in the description box for you guys to join the group. It is free to join. It is one of the best Facebook groups out there. Amazing, amazing, amazing people from the reselling community are part of that group and contribute to it daily. And you can always tag me in there with questions. It's probably the fastest way to get a hold of me. And you can always email me at flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. I'm always happy to take questions there as well. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at flippinhippos. Hit the thumbs up before you guys leave. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to the channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. Until next time, go be productive, go make some money, go start working in these Poshmark routines into your daily routines. And I'll see you next time. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. You guys are the best. Bye.